Okay, anybody who happens to watch this, I just want to make a quick video about this guitar that I bought recently from Grzenia Guitars. They are a company based out of Chicago um, that sells Korean-built instruments. Um, I bought this kind of sight unseen. It fit the bill for everything that I was looking for. I wanted an Explorer style guitar with a 25.5 inch scale neck, which are actually really hard to come by. There's a couple of baritone options out there, but I didn't want to go full baritone. The band that I currently play in, Sons of Greenwich, are in A standard. And I was trying to use a 24 and 3/4 inch scale, and it just wasn't jiving with the tuning. So I need something with a little bit slightly longer scale length, and this fit the bill. But seeing as they really only sell out of their online web store, it wasn't like I could easily go to my local Nightmare Guitar Center or something like that and play one of them. So I bit the bullet and ordered it. This guitar retails for $1,099.99. I did not pay that much for it. They were running a sale. This is the Empress model, and this is their Root series, so this isn't their top end, the next step below it, and they were running a sale on it, and so I paid a little over 900 after shipping was included with it. So for anybody that's considering buying one of these, I figured I'd make a video just to kind of point out a few things that I've noticed since I got it, so you kind of know what you're getting into. The main reason that I'm saying that is because their return policy, according to their website, states that returns are only accepted in cases of significant shipping damage or if a brand new product is received with a defect that cannot be repaired by a local technician. The examples that they provide are issues requiring guitar setup, which, I mean, if you buy a guitar anyways, you should always take and have it set up, or do it yourself if you're able to, or electronics repair upon arrival, and then they inspect them to determine if they qualify for a return, and any return shipping is at the purchaser's cost. They charge a restocking fee, which is pretty standard nowadays if they do decide to process the return. But so, long story short, if you're going to be dropping somewhere in the neighborhood of $1,000 on a guitar, you should kind of have an idea of what you're getting into. So, specs for this: set neck, like I said before, 25.5 inch scale, mahogany body. It's got a quilted maple veneer on the top of it. It has a body matching quilted maple headstock veneer. White binding on the body, pretty standard classic white binding with the black stripe included in that too. Rosewood fingerboard, 14-inch fingerboard radius, gloss body finish. The neck has got a satin section on it, which is really nice. I'm not a big fan of gloss finishes on necks. I always end up scotch brighting them, so this will save me from having to do it. The first thing that I did notice is that there's a ding in the satin finish here, kind of right around the 8th fret. Not a huge deal, but brand new guitar, so I'm a little bit more critical of things like that. So continuing on, block inlays, has a Graphtec new bone nut, which is definitely superior to a lot of guitars in this price range, which are still shipping with plastic nuts for some weird reason. The ESP LTD series, for example, everything in this price range, you're still getting a plastic nut on it. The guitar that I'm currently playing is an EC1000. That had a plastic nut until I had the luthier that I take my guitars to for setup replace it with a bone one. 22 jumbo stainless steel frets. We'll get back to those in a minute. Gold hardware. The tuners are proprietary house brand. All of their stuff is manufactured under the High Proof brand. 20-to-1 ratio. They're locking tuners. They are nice. There's really no issue with those there. I would leave them on. The pickups, well, actually the bridge first, also high proof Tune-o-matic graphite saddles. Again, bridge is pretty nice looking. No complaints there. The pickups that are in it are also a house brand. They're passive PF style pickups. They are called the Firewater series. According to their website, they're voiced for excuse me, modern styles, modern metal. Not necessarily the voicing that I was looking for. Normally, I would just say the hell with it and make do with what's in here. But I did get a set of rail hammers that I'm going to be putting in this instead. Nuevo 90 neck for those P90 tones, and then their Hyper Vintage bridge. These are significantly less hot than what's already in here, but it's going to work a lot better with the fuzz tones and the amplifier that I use currently, and for the project I'm specifically going to be using this guitar for. Bridge neck is 17.5K, bridge neck pickup is 12.2K. Volume, tone, standard 3-way toggle switch, neck, both pickups, bridge. It does ship with a pretty nice padded case, which is cool for an offset shape like this. I'm going to end up finding a hard case at some point in time. Couple of things going into this when I bought it. I really wanted a guitar that had antique bronze or brass hardware on it, so I have all of that coming. So the stop tailpiece, the bridge, and the tuners are all going to be coming off. Excuse me. As soon as those arrive and getting swapped out with... again, locking tuners, a roller bridge rather than this graphite one, which I'm sure is just fine, but not the finish that I wanted. I was hoping to get pickups that had a matching finish cover on them, but just don't have the funds at this point in time, and I got a great deal on the Railhammers, and have heard excellent things about them. I already swapped out the knobs that are on here. I don't particularly like small knurled knobs like this. I'm a big speed knobs fan. And also I got these guys here to put on. And I will have to, at some point in time, source a pickup selector switch in that finish as well. But they're kind of hard to come by. So a couple of things as far as quality, fit, finish, things like that I noticed. Right off the bat, pulled it out of the box when it got here. And looked as good as it was pictured. There's a couple of minor finish flaws. There is a gap in the binding that you can see right here. Not a huge deal. Binding, I'm sure, is very difficult to get perfect. It's got fingerprints on it and everything like that, so that's me. One of the other things that I did notice actually just now sitting down is it looks as though the pick guard is raising in a couple locations. Kind of right about here. Also this spot here, and it looks like it may be up a little bit between the pickups. Actually pushing on it, it's up a little bit. So when I pull this off to replace the screws and also replace the pickups, I'm most likely going to kind of try to maybe file down the edges a little bit to get it to sit a little bit flatter. If not for any other reason than when I wipe this down, I don't want to constantly be catching the edges, because we got some really sharp corners here and all where I could see myself catching a cloth on it or something like that. Again, personal stuff. It's, not a huge deal. I will say for a guitar that's in this price range, maybe something that quality control on their end should be a little bit more aware of. The other thing, this is kind of a big sticking point for me. The fret ends on basically every single fret, but in particular from about 11 on up to 22. The fret ends are very pronounced. They're definitely going to need some attention. I'm sure that my setup guy, Luthier, is going to take care of that for me, because I will definitely mention it. But again, this isn't a super expensive guitar. This also isn't a $250 Squire. Kind of one of those things I would expect to, them to pay a little bit more attention to. But before I do any serious playing with it, I'm going to have it set up in A standard, swap the hardware out and everything, and definitely have him pay some attention to those frets. There's a little bump here too. I don't know if it's going to show up on camera, but it's right about here. Yeah, actually you can kind of see it. In the binding on the fingerboard here, that's sticking out some. So again, nothing a little bit of 800 grit sandpaper isn't going to take care of, but fit and finish, especially new instrument, $1,000 range, The fretwork is really the thing that I'm kind of most concerned about. Took the back panel off, took a look at the actual electronics that are in here and all, because they don't list any details about that. All alpha pots. Wiring looks decent. Their pickup wires, they could probably afford to use a little bit heavier gauge. This looks like, God, let's see. I would say this is probably 24 or 26 gauge wiring that they use. And again, I mean, they could do a little thicker on that. I'm going to throw a bus wire in between all the knobs here, the pots, to just make sure they're as stiff as possible and don't get shaken loose. Run-of-the-mill input jack, probably going to swap that out with a switchcraft, just because, you know, I'd rather do it one time and not have to worry about it again. The cavity is shielded. The shielding looks good. It's even. There's no real drips or anything like that. So when they shielded it, they took the time to mask off the surrounding area and everything like that. The transparent finish on the back is actually really nice. I like the fact that you can see the wood grain through it. I'm a sucker for that. Again, fingerprints galore. When I first took it out of the box and I was looking at it under like lower quality light, I thought that there was a huge bubble right about here where like the clear coat or something like that, the lacquer had bubbled up, or they had applied too much and all, and that was going to be a major sticking point for me. But again, given their return policy, I'm kind of shit out of luck at this point in time. I will say, brand new guitar. I haven't bumped it into anything or anything like that, and we've got a bare spot here on this horn. So again, some minor quality control issues. I would say that fretwork is really the major sticking point for me. But overall, it's nice. It sounds good. It arrived, set up, the action's pretty nice on it. More or less right about where I would prefer it to be to begin with. The pickups are hot. The guitar that I'm currently playing has got a set of super distortions in it, and these are rated higher than those, and it definitely shows when you play it. So I don't know. I'm just a dude that plays guitar and fixes things on their own, and you know, I don't know if anything that I say is going to change anybody's opinion, but I wanted to kind of give an honest review of this, especially if anybody else is considering buying from them. Instrument overall, I would probably give it a solid 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10, somewhere in that range. If it came in the fret, those fret ends were perfect, I would be saying this is, you know, I have zero complaints about it outside of aesthetic things that are more personal stuff, which I knew going into purchasing this. The one thing that I will say, and I exchanged emails actually with the president of Grzenia Guitars about this, is I ordered this guitar. They are manufactured in Korea. They apparently, for a period of time, have had 2 warehouses, one in California, one in Chicago. I was told by the president of the company that they were consolidating their warehouses completely to Chicago, which is nice, middle of the country, should be a relatively reasonable shipping time anywhere else. I ordered this guitar, and it was over a week before it even hit the hands of the shipper. They shipped USPS to me. I had a tracking number basically from the moment that I placed the order, and no progress whatsoever. Exchanged some emails back and forth. It basically boiled down to something along the lines of it was prepared for shipping and then put somewheres, and somebody lost track of it or something along those lines. I don't remember the exact details of the email, and I'm not going to waste paper printing them out so I can read them back to you. This took a long time to get to me. I'm not going to hang my hat on that or anything. I know that, especially given the current situation in this country, the shipping situations can be nightmarish. At least it wasn't coming from, you know, across the pond in either direction, where I would have been waiting for a significantly longer time. But I'm just noticing some more flaws right here where that scuff is. But anyways, so I don't know what other people's experience has been as far as shipping goes with them, and all mine was less than ideal. But I got it, and it's here, and I'm looking forward to playing it. And yeah, that's basically it. So if you're considering buying from them, they're receptive. You know, when I had issues with the shipping, I got emails back from 3 different people. You know, and like I said, I ended up hearing directly from the president of the company, which I appreciated and all. But yeah, if you are, you know, looking at any of their models, I would say, you know, go ahead and bump it kind of the top of the list as far as things that you're considering buying. You know, if you're into the gold hardware and stuff, all the hardware is really nice. And that bridge with the graphite saddles is great looking. Everything feels nice. You just, you know, normal new guitar setup and probably have somebody address those fret ends. But yeah, that's basically it. So hope this helps anybody that's looking at them as a company and considering whether or not they want to buy something from them. I'm not sponsored by anybody, so I have no dog in this fight, so to speak, even though dog fighting is a terrible, horrible thing. But just to use that expression. So I'm not looking to get anything out of this from Grzenia or anybody else for that matter. If Railhammer wants to send me something, that'd be cool. I love the way that their pickups sound, and I'm looking forward to getting a set of them in here. But yeah, aside from that, hope this helps anybody that's considering buying a Grzenia guitar. She sure is pretty.